This Halloween, party with your favorite monsters during Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the fog. I am Wolfman Rob here, and we're going to talk all kinds of fun things. So, if you're new to the show, first off, welcome in. Thank you for coming in over here and hanging out with the Wolfman. We like to have fun here. The show is very much dedicated to the love of Halloween Horror Nights. And on this show, whether you're a veteran of the event, been to every single one, or if you're brand new, this is going to be your first year, you're a rookie to the event, you're all welcome here. You're all good time, no gatekeeping, no judgment, all fun over here, man. So appreciate you coming over here and hanging out with me on this episode. What I like to do on the first episode of every month is to check out where we're at, see what kind of things have been announced, what's going on, how we're looking for the event, and then take a look back at trends of announcements in July. So we're going to be doing that on this week's episode as well. 3 original houses have been announced for Orlando, 1 for Hollywood. We're going to talk about those as I was on my birthday break when that happened. So I haven't gotten the chance to talk about them yet or do an episode about them. So we're going to talk about those here as well, man. So again, appreciate you hanging out with me. Without further ado, let's jump into this. So we have our event dates, we have tickets out there, we have all that good information, and we have several houses announced, man. So I'm going to pull up my little notes here so I make sure I get all the names right. So for Orlando and Hollywood, the IPs have been announced. Five Nights at Freddy's, still don't know what it is. They're still being very, very sneaky about what it is. Still feel like it's a house. Seems like that would be the only thing appropriate, but we shall see whenever they decide to announce that. I did see that John Murdy and Mike Aiello will be on a Midsummer Scream, I believe is what it's called, panel event at the same time. Maybe they'll give us some more information. The last time we got Five Nights at Freddy's information was on a Sunday. That panel is taking place on a Sunday, so we shall see. Fallout is the first official announced IP house. Since we don't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is. So that'll also be in Orlando and Hollywood. Fallout, this is based on the television show. And then Jason Universe, the brand new Jason Universe that they created with them, so they got all the rights and all that stuff figured out. That will be in Orlando and Hollywood as well. Real quick, over in Hollywood, they announced Monstros 3, The Ghost of Latin America. That'll be a Hollywood original house over there. Good for them, man. And then in Orlando, we've gotten our 5 originals so far. Should be it, I believe, unless they sneak in a 6th one in there. It's normally 5 IPs, 5 originals. It kind of does get mixed up. But we've got the 2 I've already talked about are El Artista, a Spanish haunting, and Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunters. Now we go into the houses that they announced while I was on my birthday break. So we'll kick it off with the first one they announced with Dolls. Let's Play Dead. Look at that fun little artwork there. Creepy. Gives a little bit of vibes from Toy Story a little bit. I saw a lot of people say that. And I said as well the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is like freaking blanking on his name, of course, but it's like his room where he's doing all those mutilations to his sister's Sid, doing all his mutilations to her toys and doing all these bad things to toys. That's kind of like, I mean, if you look at the picture again, like you got a little baby head over there to the right, which kind of looks like it and all that stuff. So remember the baby led with spider stuff. But yeah, I'm going to read the definition and document stuff off of their Twitter X account because it's not on their website. The website only has the IPs on there, which is typical. They don't really put the originals up until later into the event. But let's see. Haunted House Dolls Let's Play Dead. You're about to become doll-sized and be hunted by toys that have been burnt, melded, and stitched together by a twisted little girl. Wow. Okay, so us becoming doll-sized, love that idea. So it's going to be the vibe of, like, again, bring up Toy Story. If you walk into Toy Story Land at Disney or anything like that, where the set props are going to be very big and all that stuff, we're going to make them feel like a doll size. That's awesome. Love that idea. Burnt, melded, stitched together, twisted creations from a twisted little girl. Cool, man. Sounds awesome. As you can see, I got Chucky back there. I love a killer doll. Annabelle's over here. I talked about Megan 2.0 on my review movie show. That's also on this YouTube, if you can check that out. I love a good killer doll, and I'm into that vibe. Can't wait to see what they throw in there and all that stuff. So yeah, that should be fun right there, right? The next one we got was this one, Grave of Flesh, which looks cool. Like again, the artwork's banging this year, man. It looks really cool. I will say it was the first original that they've announced was a little meh on. I was a little taken aback on, but let's read it over real quick, and then I'll tell you what changed my mind. Welcome to your funeral, where it's about to go from bad to worse. Imagine that, bad to worse from your funeral. You'll enter the underworld and be hunted by flesh eaters for eternity. Eternity. That's insane right there. Um, I don't know what it was, but when I saw this first, now it's my been because I was tired because I wake up at terrible times in the morning. But I saw this and I was like, okay, I guess it's probably because the other three like really hit hard for me. I'm like, oh, that's so cool and checking all this stuff out. But then I saw this and I started thinking more, and when I was looking at the main focal image there of that creature that's going to be hunting us for eternity, flesh eater, I looked at it and it kind of reminded me of the Nightingales from HHN 29. There's another one before it. I want to say HHN 21, but there's HHN 29, which was a bigger year for me. So my first year was HHN 28, rookie year, short trip, only focused on IPs because IPs were what I was there for. Um, 29, a longer trip, and I experienced originals for the first time. And I want to say Nightingale's Blood Pit was the first one I went in, and Blood Pit, Blood Prey. I always mix it up. I'm pretty sure it's Blood Pit. And just seeing what originals could be and experiencing those for the first time, and you're walking up to them. There's this huge facade, and then you got like dead horse out here, and then you go into the house, you see the violence that's going on in there, and you smell the violence. It was a very stinky house on purpose, and I thought about that, and I look at this, and I look at this picture, and I'm like, they kind of look close, man. They kind of look close. Like you see the nightingale, you see those pointy little teeth there on the grave of flesh. You look at the nightingale, pointy little teeth there, snarled up face. Like they didn't say it was the Nightingales, but it looks close, looks cool, looks awesome. That's an interesting idea to be like, oh, we're dead, life is over, where everything's over, you don't have to worry about nothing else. No, we're getting chased for eternity from freaking these creatures. So that is a cool idea as well. And then the final original announcement we've gotten, probably the final one of the year, is Galkin Monsters of the North. That sounds fun. It also sounds cold. So we like that, especially in the heat in Orlando. Um, let's see. Monsters of the North. In a remote northern village, a wicked being rises from the dead with a horde of monsters. Try to escape the belly of the beast. There you go. So that sounds cool. The first time I saw this image, like the first thing I thought about was Ghostbusters, honestly, because it looks like the library ghost and Frozen Empire a little bit. Obviously, it's not Ghostbusters and all that stuff. Look at the little wolf over there. That's fun. That looks cool. Looks like we're getting into some mythology here and all that stuff, which we're into, man. Give me some monsters. We love the monsters over there. So that sounds like it should be good as well. And that should be all of our originals for Orlando. Hollywood still has some stuff to announce, of course. So we're going to leave that there, and we're going to look at things that are coming up here. So it has been announced, emails have gone out to premium pass holders who get a free night of Halloween Horror Nights with their premium pass, that reservations open Thursday, July 10th at 12 p.m. So be sure to mark your calendars to get that. Now, July 10th is a Thursday. I think I just said that. Yeah, it's a Thursday. So announcements tend to happen Thursdays, Fridays, mostly Thursdays. And July 10th, that would be a week from the recording of this episode. So, or the release of this episode. So, I think we're going to get an announcement around that time, especially looking at trends that last year we got multi-night passes announced at that point in time. So I think multi-night tickets and probably some kind of house announcement will go along with that. Next week on the 10th is when we need to look out for that stuff. So Orlando people, be on the lookout. Get your money saved up and ready to get those frequent passes, man. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into these trends we were talking about. So I mean, real quick, sorry. So Orlando, they kind of gave us a theme of the conservatory, gothic textures, stained glass, gargoyle, stuff like that. So we're getting a classic horror vibe there. Over in Japan, they've announced 4 houses. They've announced a scare zone, and they've got some shows announced apparently. So Japan's kicking it up, kicking out the jams. All right. So looking at trends, I'd like to go back to when I first started going to Halloween Horror Nights and looking at the trends since then. So since 2028 in July announcements, here we go. So in 2028, there was only one announcement that was on July 25th, and this was the um, original house Carnival Graveyard announced then. So an original house was announced July 25th. 2019 again, two announcements. Sorry, 2019. Two announcements. July 17th, we had Ghostbusters and IP House, and then July 25th, we had Killer Clowns from Outer Space, another IP House announced. So two announcements in 2019. We go to 2021. We get the Haunting of Hill House on July 8th. Okay, so earlier announcement. July 15th, we get the Texas Chainsaw, another IP, as well as Universal Monsters Bride of Frankenstein Lives Haunted House from the previous year. So those were announced together on July 15th, 2021. 2022, again, late announcement, July 26th, the multi-night tickets and Scare Actor Dining was announced, as well as the Weekend Haunted House, so another IP house. 2023, July 13th, Universal announces the multi-night ticket passes, as well as Stranger Things 4, another IP, if you're catching the trend here. That was the only announcement in July in 2023. 2024, last year, July went pretty heavy. So July 11th, Universal announced and released the multi-night tickets with IP Insidious. July 15th, Universal announces Torture Fair as one of the 5 scare zones coming to the event. July 16th, Universal announces Swamp of the Undead, second scare zone coming to the event. July 24th, Universal announced Duality of Fear and Demon Queens, 2 more scare zones. And July 25th, Universal announced Universal Monsters of Bloodlines, Eternal Bloodlines, as the final haunted house for the event. So, July was banging last year, but you look at that again. Multiple times, they have announced multi-night tickets, like mid-July, early July, July 13th. Last year, July 11th. You know what I'm saying? July 8th, a couple years ago. So if it feels good that we're getting multi-night tickets pretty dang soon, and it's normally announced with an IP. Now, going into that IP today, a picture was circulating where someone saw, I forget their name, I'm sorry, but someone saw, they walked into the store and the WWE logo was back there. Now, WWE has shows on NBC's networks, and WWE has been rumored, from what I understand, to be at the event this year. Nothing, well, I mean, it would be new. It's been a long time. WWE has had a haunted house for The Undertaker years and years and years ago. I believe I've talked, I don't, we'll talk about it at some point. But I believe the rumor is situated around the Wyatt family. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I haven't fully looked into that rumor, but that's interesting and all that stuff. So maybe that's the IP announcement with the frequent fear passes and Russia fear passes, or maybe they announced WWE this week as they're recording this episode, and next week with the frequent multi-night tickets coming out. Hopefully, they announce. Next week is what, Saturday night's main event. I'm trying to think of what WWE has coming up that they have. Next week, they have Saturday night's main event and Evolution, the women's only, the women talent pay-per-view, or PLE now that they call them. Trying to see if they wait and announce that next week. Maybe we don't get an announcement this week. Next week, WWE heavy, and they announce the WWE house for maybe. But multi-night tickets are definitely coming. If it's not this week, it's next week is how I'm feeling. I don't know anything. Freaking Wolfman schmo over here. But that kind of seems to be the vibe right now. Just looking at past trends and how things have gone, seems that way. If it is a WWE house, I would say wait till next week to announce it, since they have a lot of stuff going on that week with their stuff. Or announce WWE this week, and then next week either finally tell us what's going on with Five Nights at Freddy's, even though I think they'll probably wait till that panel to do that. maybe give us Terrifier, because from what I understand, Terrifier is in rumored IP as well. So that's where we're at, man. And welcome to the show if you're a new guy. This guy goes off the rails. There are no rails on this show. There's basic stuff, and I just go. So hopefully you enjoyed that. So that's where we're at, man. Those are the things we have announced right now. That's what we're looking at. We kind of speculate what's to come here, but like I said, save up that money, have it ready. Let's frequent for those multi-night passes, or either this week or next week. Feels good that they'll be out, and then we've got some announcements coming as well. He announced that last announcement I talked about. July went pretty heavy last year, so maybe there's some scare zone stuff's happening because Halloween Horror Nights starts next month, man. Halloween Horror Nights will officially start next month. Right at the end, towards the end of the month there. Event officially starts. You got the media event that you pay a lot of money for, the premium scare night. You have the first official night of Halloween Horror Nights, but there's also Unmasking the Horror Tour. I think starts a couple days or like the week before the event starts there, and all that stuff. So we're getting close, man. We're getting close. It's a good time, spooky fun time. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Trying not to make any burpy noises on you, but appreciate you hanging out with me as always. Thank you for joining into the show. I am a goofball, and that's what we do here. But appreciate you hanging out. Hope you had a wonderful time with this episode. I love doing these shows, man. And I just like to always remind you that you matter. Like, you're capable, incredible things. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, give yourself some peace, give yourself some love, treat yourself with kindness, and spread kindness to the world, man. But you matter. Like, you're capable, incredible things. Trust yourself, trust in the process, and believe that good things are coming for you, because they are, as long as you believe in them, man. So be kind, be loving, trust yourself, believe in yourself, because you truly do matter. You are important. And as always, hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, week, month, year. And remember that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on that light, man. So be fun. We're in a fun entertainment time. We're getting closer and closer to the event officially starting. Appreciate you all hanging out, and I will see you next time in the fall.